Hi everyone and welcome back to Bonnie Astrology. Exciting news for all of us. We have two new moons happening in the sign of Aries this year. The first one is on March 21st and the second one is on April 20th. This is a very significant Aries season. We're beginning it with a new moon, we're ending it with a new moon. The first new moon is 0 degrees of Aries, meaning that it is initiating a really significant new beginning in our lives. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and this new moon is actually happening the day after the spring equinox. You can bet that there is some kind of new beginning happening in your life at this time, something that either you're initiating or something you've the bravery or the courage to do, or something is just sprouting in your life that is going to take significant shape this year. The second new moon is going to be a hybrid solar eclipse, which is incredibly rare, and it is happening in the final degree of Aries. So Aries season is bookended with this new moon within the first degree of Aries and this new moon within the last degree of Aries. And the second new moon, being an eclipse, is kickstarting a cycle of Aries Libra eclipses, which means that there are going to be destined changes and events happening with this new moon. And it's going to give you a sense of what the theme over the next year and a half is regarding the Aries Libra series of eclipses. This Aries season is going to be ushering in some kind of new beginnings, doors opening, but also doors closing at the same time. Both new moons are going to be aspecting Pluto. The first one, March 21st, is going to sextile Pluto, bringing in supportive energy to these transformations that we want to make. The second one is a square to Pluto, meaning we're really going to have to let go of any toxic cycles that have been perpetuating. Whenever Pluto shifts signs, as it is on March 23rd for the first time since 2008, we're breaking some kind of cycle. Something is coming to an end and we're embracing a new cycle, something new, a completely new chapter in our lives and as a collective. Wherever you have Aries in your chart, it is going to be impacted. So I will go into which house it's going to be for each of the ascendants based on the whole sign system. But if you have any placements at Aries, particularly around the first couple of degrees, 0, 1 degree of Aries, or around 28, 29 degrees of Aries, especially also if it's Libra or if it's Cancer or if it's Capricorn placements or angles in your chart, you're really going to be feeling this series of new moons. But also if you have anything at say 29 degrees of Pisces, Virgo, Gemini or Sagittarius, you're also going to be feeling the new moon on the 21st of March. And also if you have anything around 0 degrees of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo or Aquarius, you're also going to be feeling the eclipse on the 20th of April. Everyone is going to be noticing something changing though, because we have this very spring-like fresh new beginning, and it's going to require us to let something go that has time expired, something that we've grown out of, something that we're ready to let go of. And usually with Pluto it can be something that is not serving us at a soul level. So there can be a series of endings and beginnings, and things are going to look very different by Taurus season in April. These new moons are very significant. So we have these new initiations, the courage to go after something, the courage to be brave and make the life changes that we want to make, but also the process that comes with any new beginning, such as the cycle of life, is ending and letting go of what is no longer serving us. Solar eclipses usually bring in fated changes, fated events, and sometimes they're quite unexpected, but the endings with solar eclipses usually facilitate new beginnings, even if, especially so, this solar eclipse is going to be in the final degree of Aries. It means that as we go into Taurus season, we're really ready to begin something new. With Aries energy, it's very bold, it's very independent, it's very daring, and it's very willing to start something new and go head first. You know, Aries is the sign associated with the phrase I am. So we're choosing new ways of living, new personal goals, new self-motivated intentions, what we want for ourselves, and really leaning into who we are as individuals. as will be the case when the North Node shifts into Aries in July. A lot of the focus is going to be put back on the self, personal needs, personal goals, and personal wants, and how the next chapter is going to look for you based on what it is that you want with this particular set of new moons. It is a very exciting time with this Aries season. I do have videos up on the new moon, March 21st. I will later have a new moon solar eclipse video coming as well, but you can check out what the March 21st new moon means for your zodiac sign more in depth. So based on the ascendant, Aries rising, these new moons are going to be a time for you to decide who it is that you are, who you're becoming, what you want. It's very personal, it's very self-focused, what it is that you want from life, how you want to show up in the world, how you want to dress, how you want to walk, how you want to talk, how you want to style yourself, what your aesthetic is, what your vision board is, what your dreams are, who you aspire to be. And you're letting go of an old identity. So maybe for a lot of you, you're letting go of a lot of clothes that you no longer wear. You're not wearing the same color scheme. You're letting go of old shoes. You're letting go of an old way of styling your hair. You're trying something brand spanking new. Maybe you're changing your color of your hair. Whatever it is, Aries, this is about stepping into a new beginning as yourself. This is about embracing who you are, who you're becoming, and who you want to be unapologetically. Taurus rising. Taurus, this new moon for you, both new moons for you are in your 12th house. It's very hidden, it's very private. So a lot of this is to do with your personal healing journey, what's going on with you behind the scenes, the work that you do in private, what you do in private, the secrets that you keep, the way that you feel on a spiritual level, how your soul is doing. A lot of you might decide that you want to start going to therapy, or you want to start some sort of healing process, or you want to dip your toe into some sort of healing, some way of healing that's maybe a bit different, but maybe it's more based on a soul level. You're really getting to the root of anything that has been plaguing you. This is also a very important time to listen to your intuition, follow your psychic senses, and maybe even analyze your dreams, because this might be a time when you're really letting go of some heavy emotional baggage in order to live a more soulful, healthy life. Gemini rising, this is all about your dreams, your wishes, your aspirations, but also your friendships and your social connections. These new moons can be ushering in for you new friendships while also letting go of old ones. You can be bringing in new friendship groups, new teams. There can be new team members entering your life. There can be team members exiting your life. You can start associating with new clubs, new charities, new philanthropic or humanitarian work that you want to do. And you can also be letting go of old aspirations that you realize were not actually yours, and align yourself with goals that are more true to what it is that you want now and how you see your future. Cancer rising, these new moons are going to be welcoming in a time of new beginnings when it comes to your career, when it comes to your public image, your vocation, your calling, and what it is that you want to be seen as in the world, how you want to show up to the world. For some of you, this could be leaving one particular industry or career path and starting a new one. For others of you, this could be finally pursuing your own business or pursuing some sort of work, some sort of calling that really calls to you, whether it's in employment or not, starting a new goal, starting something that is going to change your title, change your status, or just change how you're perceived by the world, change how you show up to the world, what you're known for, how you would be described in a newspaper. If someone was writing, if someone was writing about you in a newspaper or in your autobiography, the little blurb that's at the back, or something like that, just how your titles, how you're described, what you're seen by as the world. This is a new time for you in terms of your public image, your public persona, and most likely for a lot of you in your career. Leo rising, these new moons are ushering in a time of adventure for you. For a lot of you, this could be a time when you're finally deciding to travel to that location you've always wanted to travel to take that trip you've always wanted to take, to go on that voyage, that cruise, that backpacking holiday, whatever it is. Take that trip of a lifetime that you've always wanted to do. And for some of you, maybe it's deciding that you don't actually want to travel to a certain place anymore. You want to let that one go to embrace something new. Or perhaps some of you are making a geographical move at this time to a new place with new people that involves a different kind of culture or a very different vibe to what you're used to. For others of you, this could be that you are going to be starting university or leaving university, or it's ushering in a very important time in your college or your higher education years. For a lot of you, this can also be very spiritual. You're embracing faith, you're maybe learning something new, you're maybe leaning into a new way of living with faith, perhaps leaning more towards a new religion or a new branch of spirituality. Or you're expanding your knowledge in some way that is changing and shaping the way that you view the world, and this could be drastically different to how you have seen the world before. Hi Virgo rising, these new moons are going to be happening in your 8th house, and a lot of people are very scared of the 8th house. So let's do it gently. These new moons are ushering in new beginnings in a very psychological sense. So for a lot of you, this could mean that you're going to be starting some sort of therapy. Perhaps you're seeing a psychologist, perhaps you're seeing a therapist, and you're getting to the root of something that has perhaps been giving you, it's been manifesting maybe as fears, as phobias, of maybe jealousy, of paranoia, of suspicion. It's maybe been giving you a very fearful sense and a very fearful existence. And with these new moons, you're ready to conquer a fear, or you're ready to examine some deeper stuff that's been going on with you. It can also be a time where there's new beginnings financially, especially if it comes to your partner. So say you're getting married, this can be a new financial beginning based on your partner's resources. Say you've bought a house, this can be a new beginning based on money that you're, different expenditure, or perhaps money that is coming in from, the bank, or it's a debt, or it's not debt, it's a loan or something like that. It's very significant when it comes to your finances, particularly if they're linked to other people, whether that be a spouse or an organization. So there can be new beginnings happening there, as well as endings. You might be ending out a particular financial chapter in your life, or you might be finally getting ready to conquer a fear or a phobia that has held you back for quite a long time. Libra rising, these two new moons are going to be happening in your 7th house of relationships. It's very likely that if you are single, there is going to be some sort of new beginning happening in your relationship life. There could be somebody new comes in that's very significant. It could be a new relationship on the horizon. For those of you that are dating, you might decide to make the relationship official. For those of you that are married, there might be some sort of new chapter in your relationship that's requiring a lot of your time and your energy. For some people, this can be a make or break period where you either make the relationship more committed, or it might be that you are exiting a relationship if it is no longer working for you. Whatever the case, Libra risings, it is putting your relationships very firmly into the spotlight at this time. There are new beginnings, new chapters, and also endings. So whatever your relationship status, you can bet that there's something going on with your relationship world. Scorpio rising. So Scorpio rising, these new moons are happening in your 6th house of health and well-being. A lot of your focus is going to be going towards your physical well-being, your physical health. So for a lot of you, this can be with the new moon energy, that you're ready to join a gym. So you haven't been in 30 years, you're suddenly wanting to go to a gym, you're wanting to work on your health that way. A lot of you are wanting to start something new like yoga, or you're wanting to start running, or you're wanting to begin something for your physical body that is going to make you feel good. It doesn't have to be exercise. It could be changing the way that you eat. It can be changing how you spend your time when it comes to your health and well-being. So you might be deciding that you want to start meditating. You might decide that you want to start stretching, something that is going to be good for your physical well-being, Scorpio, is what's being highlighted here. As well as this, it can also give you a time of shifting jobs. So you might shift your employment, you might move from one job to another one, or you might notice that there's some sudden entries and exits in your work life, with your colleagues, with your employees as well, if you have them. So Scorpio, a lot of changes happening when it comes to your physical health, but also when it comes to your work environment. Sagittarius rising. So Sagittarius rising, these new moons are happening in your 5th house. Now this can bring in new love interests, new people to date, new romance in your life. This can also be the exit of romance that is not fulfilling you as well. Your love life could be in high focus around this time. As well as that, there can be pregnancies with the new moon energy, with this new moon being such a fertile one, such an exciting new beginning in your 5th house. Some of you could be experiencing pregnancy around this new moon, or birth around this new moon, or new surrounding children, new beginnings with children in your life if you have them. And this can also be a time of creativity where you're starting a new passion project, a new hobby. And for some of you, there can also be the giving up and letting go of a hobby. There's new doors opening and there's doors closing when it comes to love, romance, but also when it comes to how you experience pleasure, how you experience joy, what makes you happy. Capricorn rising, these new moons are happening in your fourth house of home, family, and emotional security. I feel like for a lot of you, this is highlighting a move or some sort of new beginning when it comes to your living situation, or some sort of new beginning when it comes to your family, the people that you live with, your family dynamic. This could be a new addition to your family. This could be the birth of a baby in your family, for example, or this can be that someone is moving out of the house or someone is moving into the house. It can be that your roommates are changing, or it can be that you are making a significant move at this time, Capricorn. There's some sort of new beginning happening when it comes to your emotional security, your emotional life, where you're your most vulnerable and raw. Perhaps for some of you, you're beginning to look into your family ancestry so that you can break some sort of pattern, break some sort of curse, or perhaps there is a new start happening for someone in your family that you're going to be participating in. Say you have a family member that wants to get help for something, you're then working with them on that. But it feels as though there is something changing within your family life, within your living situation. I think for most of you, it's going to be a move, or for others of you, if you're not moving, you might be renovating, you might be doing up your home, you might be changing it completely inside and out, you might be clearing house. A lot of you are probably going to do a big decluttering when it comes to your living space. Perhaps, clearing out the cupboards, clearing out clutter, and really embracing a new fresh and probably a new aesthetic when it comes to your home. Aquarius risings, these new moons are happening in your third house. Your third house is to do with communication. It's also to do with these key people. It's to do with your siblings, your cousins, your neighbors. This might be a time where there are new beginnings happening with a sibling, with a neighbor, or with a cousin in your life. There can be a significant event or new beginning or ending with those type of individuals in your life, Aquarius. This can also be new neighbors in your street, or this can be that there's a new life event happening with a sibling or a cousin in your life. This new moon can also be a time when you're deciding that you want to learn something new. Some of you could be leaving one form of education to enter another, or you could be starting a new course, you could be starting a new skill, you could be learning something significant. You might end up getting a certificate or a degree in something that you've been studying. Usually with the third house, it's certificates, but because the second is going to be initiating a series of eclipses, it might also be to do with higher learning as well, because that's your ninth house, which is opposite. So you may find with these series of new moons that you're going to start initiating learning something, you're going to start a new skill, you're going to start a new maybe learning something, an entirely new genre that you're not used to, Aquarius, but this could be something that's very important to your life path. So pay attention to what you want to learn. Some of you could also be learning a new language or picking up an old language, Aquarius. Pisces risings, these new moons are happening in your second house of finances, income, as well as your values and your gifts. For a lot of you, Pisces, you might be noticing that what matters to you most is changing. There is some value in your life that is new to you that's going to be very significant going forward. It might also be that you are beginning a new way of making money, or opening a new bank account, or setting up a new savings account. There is some sort of new beginning and initiation with your finances. You might also be using a new skill to make an additional source of income for yourself. You might be getting a pay rise. You might be calling in new money in some way in your life, Pisces. There is a new beginning happening for you financially. Now, you could also be closing a bank account, or you could be making a huge payment on something. Perhaps you've been saving for something and you're making a big payment. Perhaps it is that you're closing a bank account or ending a toxic cycle when it comes to how you spend money or how you make money. There could be a need to end something that is no longer serving you, maybe based on psychological stuff, like maybe you're spending because you're bored, maybe you're spending because you're unsatisfied with a part of your life, and so your values are shifting and then your spending changes as a result. But this is going to impact you financially, Pisces. There seems to be some sort of new beginning happening for you when it comes to your money. So that is all the signs for these two new moons happening in the sign of Aries. I hope you enjoyed this video. As usual, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for regular updates, and if you do want to book a reading with me and find out more in depth for you personally on what these new moons and the solar eclipse in particular is going to mean for your sign, you can contact me at the email listed in the description. I hope you have a great set of new moons, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.